How to find freelance clients fast. This is a question I get from a lot of you. There are a lot of you who've asked me, Roberto, I can't find my first freelance clients. Roberto, how do I find freelance clients? I've answered this question over and over again, sometimes I think as much as twice a year in multiple videos. But here we are again. So I'm going to tell you some things. I'm even going to go into some tips I don't think I've shared before on how you can find your first freelance clients, whether it's on the internet or whether it's in the local market. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake helping you create something awesome today. Welcome back to the channel. For the new people here, first of all, welcome. My name is Roberto Blake. I'm a creative entrepreneur. I used to be a freelancer once upon a time. I was a broke college student and it helped me pay my way through community college. And today I'm going to tell you how to get your first clients. So let's go ahead and make some assumptions real quick. Let's assume that you at least already have a body of work, that you have a portfolio that proves that you can deliver on your talent, whether that's graphic design, whether that's photography, whether that's writing, web design, coding, whatever it is that you happen to do. Let's assume that you have a decent body of work, and let's assume that the problem is you just don't know how to reach people who can hire you and pay you what you deserve and what you're asking for. Let's solve that problem real quick. If the goal is to drum up local business, one of the first things I think you need to do besides hitting up friends and family and asking them to, send people your way is you need to get out of the house and you need to go to local events. You need to go to local events, whether they're free or whether they're paid. You need to visit your local small business association. You need to visit your local chamber of commerce. You need to also, every opportunity, whenever you are anywhere and you see business cards, you need to pick up those business cards. You need to do research on these people and you need to figure out whether you have anything at all that you can do as a freelancer to deliver value for them and help them solve problems in their business. Now, the reason I want you to go to the local small business association and the local chamber of commerce is that people who are doing local business often visit there, interact with there, and also they have resources for you trying to reach out to small business owners. And they also have an idea of what services and things people are looking for. They also have people's business cards there. And someone there might have said, hey, if there is someone who can do this to help me in my business, that in my business, please let me know, send them my way. So this is an opportunity for you to find people that have problems they're trying to solve in their business and can afford to pay you. This is going to be probably your easiest local opportunity. Here's another one. Find people in your local business community that already are paying for advertising. If they already are doing a local television commercial and have airtime, if they have a local radio ad spot, if they have print advertising, billboards, you know what that means? They have a budget. If they have a budget, that means they can afford you. Now look at the things they spend money on and then figure out whether that's something you can help with and can you do it better than the person they're already paying, and can you prove that? So now once you've identified that there are prospects out there, there are people who are spending money, there are people who have businesses and they can afford you, you need to do some research. You need to look at what it is that they are paying for, what their expectations are, and try and figure out how you can compete with that. Now, in some cases, you also, when you figure out who these people are, you need to find out who their 3 local competitors are so that if you don't end up working with them, you could probably work with at least one of their competitors. And you just have to put yourself in a position to where you are able to deliver on the kind of work that they expect. If you can't do that, then you have to go back to square one. You have to practice, raise your skill level. You might have to find people at a lower tier that you can work for free to build up your skills and reputation. And I know that's not what you want to hear. I know you have bills to pay. But guess what? People hiring you don't care about that. They only care about whether you can do the work that they expect, and they are only willing to pay for you in that particular instance. They do not care about your problems, so you can't use them as an excuse in the comment section of this video. The other thing I'll say about working for free is a lot of people cry about it and they say, well, I don't want to work for free, or I don't want to work for exposure and all of those things. I'll remind you that people buy exposure in the form of advertising and marketing. So you can't think that exposure is worthless or not worth your time. If you don't have a network of high net worth individuals already, if you don't have access to people in the industry, then for some of you, your only option will be to work for free a little bit. That certainly was the case for me. I don't think I'd be in the position I am today and earning a 6-figure income if I had been unwilling to work for free. So I don't want you to turn your nose up on it. I will do a dedicated video to it, but I just have to be very blunt with you about that. You cannot feel entitled. Everyone has to earn their way. Now, if you're trying to do things online, then you also have to have a body of work, and that will require you to have things like a website in a lot of cases. Now, there are a lot of people who, they only want to use free platforms, and I get it that it feels like, inaccessible to you, but websites are not that expensive today, and you can earn the money to do that even off of one client gig. So I'm going to recommend a few different web hosting things in the description down below for you guys. And yeah, some of those will be affiliate links, but here's why you need a website. You need a way to control search engine optimization and traffic so that people can see your work. Now, you need a place where you can control that, because yes, I'm aware that your website will not get as much traffic as a free social media platform where people are already there. But it's also true that that social media platform, there's people that might be more experienced, more connected, more talented than you that will be competing for eyeballs, and you won't necessarily win that game either just because it's free. So think about that. Now, at least with search engine optimization and specifically targeting maybe your local market or targeting the niche, you might be able to rank in the search engines or at least get someone's attention, and then you can convert and get that business. Because I know that that's something I've been able to do in the past, and even now as a business person, I always take advantage of it. There are websites and marketplaces that allow you to compete for freelance gigs, bid on them, and so on. There's Fiverr.com. I've had my own grievances with them in the past, but less on the platform and anything it's done than there are people who use the platform and have stolen work from me. So I'm just being transparent that don't think that Fiverr, yay, it's cheap and everything like that. There are things that I disagree with, but what I know is this: the fact that Fiverr exists and that there's a market for it as the largest freelance, platform in the entire world at this point, and they're the most recognized and marketed, you can't get away from that reality. So you might as well take advantage of it and see if there's any way for you to benefit. So I would say that you need to have a presence in Fiverr, and you need to have a presence in Upwork, and if there are other freelance sites that you feel are accessible to you and that you can meet their requirements, then you should apply for those as well. And you should put as much of your work in these platforms as possible so that you have multiple opportunities to find new work or for clients to find you. Also, you can use these platforms as links in your social media profiles if you feel that that will work better than having a link to your own website. It just depends on where you feel it's going to be the easiest to get somebody to make a transaction. So just kind of keep that in mind and take each of these platforms with a grain of salt. I also plan on doing a video on the way to get the highest paying jobs in Fiverr for you guys. I've been talking a lot with a lot of freelancers about this, but I've also been doing my own research, as a buyer. I've been running some experiments on, a hidden account. And it has to be a hidden account because I don't want people to recognize that it's me and try and manipulate the situation. So I've been, running my own experiences and experiments as a buyer to see what people will do. And it's been interesting. One of the things you have to be willing to do when it comes to getting clients is you have to be able to explain the value of your services very clearly to people. And my advice is that it's easier to get clients no matter what you're doing if you just charge a flat project rate for something, because that's easy for someone to understand how to control their budget. When you do stuff hourly, one, there's no real incentive for you to be efficient, and also everyone's going to be worried about whether you're billing them for more hours or not. But if it's just, hey, I did the thing, it's done, this is my fee, it's very easy to make that transaction when you know exactly how much something costs. And I can tell you, as someone who hires freelancers on a regular basis, that that's how I prefer to do it as someone who's hiring. So let's kind of recap real quick. We talked about the fact that if you want to get local business, you need to look at who has a budget for you and who is already a business owner and operator in your local market. And you need to get out of the house and get involved with your local community if you want to drum up local business. You also obviously need a body of work, and you need to build up your reputation, and you need to have a website. And one of the other reasons to have a website is a place that you can put your testimonials. Putting your testimonials on your website of what you've done for people, the results, showing your body of work, talking about your process, it is important. It is one of the things that I think helped me the most back in the day. So I would encourage you to do that. Like I said, I'm going to link to Bluehost and some other websites that you can get hosting from in the description down below. For those of you who want to build an email list for your business, I'm also going to link to ConvertKit for you. It's what I use for my email marketing. But I think that search engine optimization, email marketing, these marketing tactics, and also aggressive local marketing, I even would go so far as to say that some of you, if you're doing local marketing, should consider even printing flyers that easily explain your services and might even have your rates on them. I think that that's a powerful thing that you can do. So I think those things are important to kind of keep in mind if we're talking local. If we're talking about doing stuff online, you need a website, you need to be able to control that. I still like the idea of you having an email list and having some free download or something. I also think you have to leverage social media, but I also think you have to leverage the existing online freelancer marketplaces. And there are quite a few of them, and not just Fiverr and Upwork, there are others as well. I'm gonna do a video also about making more money as a freelancer by raising your skill level. And because I think that a lot of you don't realize there are certifications out there for certain things, and there are also services you can offer that are high ticket items. Freelancing doesn't have to be like this like $50 a transaction proposition. It can be extremely lucrative to where everything is $500 up for you. I know especially that that's true when it comes to things like photography, which is a more localized thing to do. But there are people who, if they are entry level, make $500 on a weekend doing a wedding, and people who are more experienced making $5,000 in a weekend or more. So I just think that you have to understand the opportunity as it exists, understand where the market is, what people can afford, and position yourself to get the most value by delivering the best service. And I think that's where I want to end this. Question of the day. If you already are doing freelance work, what's the most money you've made in a month freelancing? And the reason I ask is I want to encourage some of the new people here to realize that this is a money-making opportunity for them. Now, if you haven't made any money at all freelancing, what is the value that you think you can deliver to the market? I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. Let's get a great conversation going. And if you have any advice to offer, other freelancers, please leave that there and try and help the people in this community so that they can make more money. Like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the other awesome stuff here on the channel. We've got plenty of tips on freelancing, marketing yourself, and using these social media platforms. As always, you guys, thanks so very much for watching and taking the time with me today. Don't forget, go out there and create something awesome today. Take care.